Hi there, Kelsey here. Wanted to hop on and do a quick recording of a mind-body scan that I do with many of my clients. I have adopted this mind-body scan from Dr. Richard Schwartz's book, No Bad Parts. And he refers to this specific practice, he calls it getting to know a protector part of ourselves. So go ahead and begin by just getting comfortable in your chair, or if you're laying down, whichever you prefer, just getting comfortable wherever you are. And as we begin to make this transition from our external world to our internal world, I'd like to invite you to begin taking just a few breaths. A few deep, intentional breaths. Again, these breaths can act as an invitation to make that transition from all of the things that are happening outside of us to begin shifting our focus to what's happening within us. So whenever you feel ready, I want to invite you to begin scanning your body and your mind. Noticing in particular what kind of thoughts and emotions, sensations, or impulses that might be there. We're just noticing what's there right now. It could be either in or even around your body. Noticing if following these instructions is difficult. Noticing if there's some sort of numbness or discomfort. Maybe ping-ponging thoughts. Whatever is present for you right now. Just noticing that. And as you do that, notice if one of those thoughts, emotions, sensations, or impulses are calling out to you, maybe asking for your attention. And if not, perhaps just picking a familiar thought, sensation, or impulse to focus on. So go ahead and focus on it. Go ahead and focus on it and see if you can locate where it might be present, either in or around your body. And as you notice it, notice also how you feel toward it. In other words, do you dislike it? Does it annoy you? Do you fear it? Or maybe you'd like to get rid of it? Perhaps you like it, or feel sorry or sad for it. What kind of relationship do you have with this thought, emotion, sensation, or impulse? I'm going to invite you to see if you can open your mind to it. If you're angry or afraid of it, or don't like it, or want it to go away, I want to invite you to see if this part might be willing to relax a little bit, to give you some space inside to get to know it a bit. We want to see if we can shift any attitude or judgment or dislike that we might have toward this part. I want to see if we can shift that to having a sense of curiosity about that part. For instance, what might this sensation or thought or impulse, what might it like to communicate with me? What message might it have? What's its job? Why might it be there? So again, just seeing if you can get to a place of curiosity with this part. If these other parts won't separate, and if you can't get to that curious place, that's okay. Instead, you can spend some time talking to these parts that won't relax, and maybe ask them what they're afraid might happen if they actually let you interact with the target part, thought, or sensation. But if you do find yourself feeling curious about the part, then it's safe to begin to get to know it. And by get to know it, I mean as you focus on it, go ahead and ask it if there's something it wants you to know about itself, and see if you can wait for an answer. Try not to think of an answer. Instead, just wait silently while you focus on that part in your body and see what comes back from it. And if nothing comes, that's okay too. If you did get an answer, go ahead and ask this part what it's afraid would happen if it didn't do what it does. And again, see if you can wait for the answer to come without thinking too much. If the part answered that question, then you may have learned something about what it's trying to do for you, or what it might be trying to protect for you. And if that's true, I want to invite you to extend some appreciation for this part by at least trying to keep you safe in the best way that it knows how. And then see how this part reacts to your appreciation. And the final question for this part is, what does it need from you moving forward? What does it need from you in the future? And when the time feels right, you can begin to shift your focus back to the outside world. And as you do that, be sure again to thank your parts for whatever they shared with you today and for what they do in there to try to keep you safe. And also let them know that this isn't the last chance that they'll have to talk to you as you plan to continue to do inner self-work and growth. Feel free to take as much time as you might need to transition out of this internal space as you return to the external world. If you'd like to linger there a bit longer, feel free. But if you feel ready to return, then you can begin blinking your eyes open and returning to your external world. Thank you for being willing to do this work. And thank you for joining me here today to allow me to guide you. Hopefully you learned something about your part. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments below. All right, thanks again.